Hey up everyone, it's me, Steph, aka Alternerd, and welcome back to the Planet of Nerds. Alright, let's get down to it. It's the 35th anniversary of Zelda, the franchise. I absolutely adore The Legend of Zelda. It's my favourite franchise ever. Ocarina of Time is pretty much my jam. Love it, my favourite game of all time. Now, it comes as a surprise to me that Netflix cancelled a live-action Zelda series. They were considering a Zelda series? That would have been awesome! But what the deuce happened? Well, before I get into it, if you like this, Zelda, me, and you want to see more, subscribe down below, like, share, comment, all that good stuff. In the meantime, though, what happened here? So, while Netflix had the chance to rule it over the ratings, it turns out the streaming giant once axed its plans for a live-action The Legend of Zelda series. Since the release of The Legend of Zelda on Nintendo Entertainment System back in 1987, I feel really old now, we've watched Link and Zelda become a gaming golden couple that rivals even Peach and Mario. Despite Link's name not even appearing in the franchise's title, that hasn't stopped the tunic-wearing Hylian being an icon of Nintendo alongside the likes of Pikachu and that portly plumber. When it comes to the Zelda series, we've come a long way from the 2D dungeon scroller of the 80s, with a particular high being the Nintendo 64's The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time. Hell yeah! Dubbed by some as the best video game of all time. You know it. Some thought nothing would ever be able to topple Ocarina from the top. Even though the jury's out, The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild has given Ocarina a run for its money on the Nintendo Switch. Now, just as a side note here, I'm actually strongly considering getting the Nintendo Switch because of Breath of the Wild. I'm hearing too many crazy good things about that game. So, yeah, we'll see. As the franchise continues to keep us dancing like Darina the Goron, fans are rightly asking, where is a live-action Zelda series? Absolutely, where is it? Well, firstly, what was the live-action Zelda series? Netflix is no stranger to fantasy epics, with the runaway success of The Witcher kickstarting a slate of similar shows on the platform. However, it turns out that long before Geralt of Rivia was bewitching viewers, there were plans for a live-action Zelda series. College Humor star Adam Conover claims a live-action Zelda series was in the works around 2014, while he was working on a claymation Star Fox series for Nintendo. Interesting. Star Fox series as well? That would have been fun. Zelda creator Shigeru Miyamoto was reportedly involved in at least the Star Fox show, but it's Conover's Zelda story that is arguably more impressive. According to Conover, Nintendo axed both Star Wars and The Legend of Zelda when someone leaked information about the latter. He goes on to speculate someone at Netflix was responsible for the leak. Discussing what happened, Conover explained, suddenly there were reports Netflix wasn't going to do its Legend of Zelda anymore. I was like, what happened? And then I heard from my boss we weren't doing our Star Fox anymore. I was like, what happened? He was like, someone at Netflix leaked the Legend of Zelda thing. They weren't supposed to talk about it. Nintendo freaked out, and they pulled the plug on everything, the entire program, to adapt these things. Okay, another side note. That kind of doesn't make sense to me, and I'll explain why. The Legend of Zelda is one of the best game franchises, most well known of pretty much all time, right? And if you're gonna do a live-action Zelda series, dude, just bathe in the money right now. It's as simple as that. You are gonna have everyone, all their eyeballs, to your streaming service watching the live-action The Legend of Zelda series. So with that being said, why then would Netflix jeopardize all that and leak out information? Just saying. But this is according to Conover anyway. Back in 2014, we were still riding high on the success of Game of Thrones before season 8, and there were only dreams that The Witcher would come to live action. These days, HBO is still expanding its Thronesverse, The Witcher is going strong, and Amazon is working on an epic Lord of the Rings adaptation, which, nah. Dudes, personally, I'm happy with the 3 Lord of the Rings films that we got. We don't need anything more than that. You know, you can't really, I suppose, improve perfection. Ultimately, Conover said he's glad Netflix didn't end up making Zelda, saying this is not Lord of the Rings. In 2015, the Wall Street Journal claimed a source familiar with Netflix confirmed the live-action Zelda series, which they described as Game of Thrones for a family audience. I would be so down for that. Oh, dudes. Will there still be a live-action Zelda series, though? The world of Zelda extends far beyond the video games, thanks to board games, comic books, novels, and even a short-lived animated series in 1989. Of course, Nintendo has a checkered past when it comes to live-action adaptations. While Detective Pikachu was a record-breaking hit for video game movies, will anyone ever forget the dumpster fire that was Super Mario Bros.? No. Never mind forget, forgive. That was a mess of epic proportions, that film. If we are going to get a live action Zelda series, here's hoping it leans into the Game of Thrones style action and doesn't water it down for family audience. Yeah, kind of. So I would be happy if they watered it down for a family audience, as long as they do it right, of course. I think that would work. There is an element of Zelda that is quite dark, so going down the Game of Thrones route would make sense as well. The only thing that I would say is the element of Game of Thrones that's, let's say, the unwanted bump and grind kind of situation with anyone, including family members. Let's cut that out from the Zelda situation. Zelda games have always been best when they're at their darkest, and let's be honest, Hyrule isn't exactly the happiest realm of the land. Absolutely. So, Ocarina of Time, when it first came out back in 98, I played it on Nintendo 64. I played the hell out of that game. I absolutely loved it, and I still do. I've actually played it recently. There's a playlist on our channel of me live streaming me playing the game. So if you're interested in that, go on our channel, have a gander, fill your boots. But when I was younger and I played it and I clocked the game, I was like, yay, I've saved Hyrule. And, I clocked the game. It was fun. It was great. As I got older, though, and I was playing it more and more, I then started to understand the darker undertones of the storyline itself. This is the lost hero of time. He saves Hyrule. Link does everything that he does, but no one knows about it. And when he saves Hyrule, he has to return the Master Sword, go back 7 years to his younger self, and that's it. He's kind of left to it without anyone really knowing technically what happened. It's like it was all on a different timeline situation. So, yeah, even though the game You Saved Hyrule, it did have that darker underlying nuance, meaning, storyline that made this game now, to me, more complex and more epic than ever. So I do actually agree that Zelda games have always been their best when they're at their darkest. Absolutely. Rumours of a Zelda series have been doing the rounds for longer than anyone would care to admit. The problem is it's such a huge franchise to tackle. with multiple timelines and eras to pick from, where do you even start with a live-action Zelda series? The logical route to go down would be a gritty adaptation of Ocarina that unfolds over a multi-season arc that tackles young and adult Link. Yes! I would be so down for that. Yes! And, to be fair, not only that, I would be so down for Nintendo re-engineering Ocarina of Time game. There's this dude on the internet that used this program or something called Unreal Engine, and he's redone certain aspects of Ocarina of Time, like the Market Town, Hyrule Castle and all that lot. And, it looks wonderful. It looks beautiful. I would pay to play that game, like, seriously. So yeah, Nintendo, not only do we want a live action series of Zelda, but we want that game. We want that Unreal Engine version, remastered Ocarina of Time for the recent age would be Then again, looking at this article, that's just a hopeful pipe dream for now. With Zelda celebrating its 35th anniversary in 2021, could this year be the time for a big announcement? Here's hoping. Yes, here's hoping. The Legend of Zelda live-action series and remastering of Ocarina of Time would be wonderful. Thank you very much. Signed, Stefania, Alternate. Done and dusted. With that being said, would you be excited to watch a live action Zelda series? If so, would you be happy for it to be based on the Ocarina of Time game or maybe another game? Sound off in the comments down below. I always like to read them and respond and know what your thoughts are, so why not? If you like this and you want to see more, subscribe. Also like this video and share it. Why not? Help us grow as a channel, that'd be good. And until the next time, you guys, laters.